Good morning. I had a bunch of other things to talk about today, but all of that can wait because the NFL just dropped a bomb on our plate this morning. Let's get straight into it and discuss it. And with that being said, I'll start this video off by asking Cleveland Browns, what happened? But I'll tell you what happened. The Black Monday cleanse has officially begun. That's what happened. I was going to talk about how our star defensive end gracefully snatched up that NFL sack record. That's what happened. I was going to talk about the back-to-back divisional dubs we just got over the past 2 weeks. That's what happened. I'll talk about the one and only time that I decided to root for another team outside of the Browns in AFC North because I cannot stand the goddamn Steelers. Instead, I get bent over and kicked in the hindquarters. Baltimore, I will never root for you bums ever again. That's what's going to happen. I got vids coming for all of that. Don't you worry. But all of that has to play second for the literal bombshell that the Cleveland Browns have just dropped on the sports media world. And that bombshell is that the Cleveland Browns have officially parted ways with Coach Kevin Stefanski. Now, how do I feel about this? If I'm being completely honest, the feeling is bittersweet. First and foremost, football and entertainment aside, Kevin Stefanski is a human being who, just like the rest of us, has people that depend on him to provide for them. I don't know the man, never met him before, probably never will, and I don't harbor any grudges against the man. And I just cannot see myself celebrating somebody having the ability to provide for their family forcefully taken away from them. The one and only time that I did use the F word, which is fired after he completely blew the Titans game for us, I felt bad about it. However, in that same breath, I'd be lying to you if I said I was a fan of the way that this dude ran my favorite team. The fans, the organization, the sports media, everybody has given this man chance after chance after chance, and at every turn, he's made the worst choices possible. First off, let's talk about this offense. This has been one of the worst offenses that I've ever seen from an NFL team. I knew that this offense was going to be historically bad back during week 2 against the Ravens. This West Coast-inspired 10-yard box that we ran out of is not going to work in the NFL. Experienced defensive coordinators will sniff this stuff out immediately like blood in the water to a shark. Outcoached against the Vikings, loss. Dylan 60 throws against the Steelers, loss. Miles 5 sacks against the Patriots, loss. Losing to the 1-7 Jets after a bye, loss. Blowing the Titans game on 2 failed 2-point conversions, loss. Do I need to keep going? It's clear as day that the piece can't fit the puzzle and you can't keep forcing it. I don't want to hear nothing about that 2-time coach of the year stuff. You want to know who else was the former coach of the year that lost his job this year? Next up, which is probably the biggest contributing factor, the complete and utter mishandling and mismanagement of Shedeur. Multiple reports came out of training camp that Shedeur was the most impressive-looking quarterback out of all of them on the roster. And not only did you decide to put it behind the guy that you want running the show, you put it behind the practice squad guy that played here last year and stunk. No reps, no game plan, and no shot at seeing the field. The GM had to literally trade away one of the guys that you said gave us the best shot at winning to literally force you in the name of Shedeur to back up. After 6 weeks, the guy that you wanted to run the show goes down with a concussion, and Shedeur finally comes in, and what does he do? Wins his first game as a Brown starter, something that hasn't been done since 1995. That's what happened. Had the best game that any quarterback has had this season against the Titans in the game that we should have won, but you blew it for us. That's what happened. We only won 5 games this year, and out of those 5 games, 3 of them came when he was your starter, including 2 wins against divisional opponents, something that neither Flacco or Gabriel has done this year. When you compare the pros and the cons, this had to be done, and although I'm not celebrating the fact that a man has lost his job, I am celebrating the fact that my team has the opportunity to rebuild itself into something better than what we've seen the past 2 years, and it's going to be fun to see.